Didn't set the timer, manager.
What?
Didn't set the timer.
I did set
Hello. You ain't hit start. What? Yeah, okay. Hi, you guys. Am I on time today? Hey, Myron. I should have put the title in the top. I didn't even think about doing it. Y'all go look at the last post and go see what the title is for right now. But I am coming live today because I want another beautiful Monday. Here's another beautiful Monday. So today I will really be talking about like the things that's most important in life, and that's finances. That's about investments, making smart decisions when it comes to money management. A lot of the things that I do currently for myself, which are all the things I do for myself, to make better decisions for my future, and not only for my future, but my child's future first. So I wanted to go in here and share some of the things that I have experienced. This is from my experience, and what I know and what I feel that could potentially help somebody else either earn extra income or think about their life and what direction it's heading in. Or also think about kind of like what kind of plans you want to set for your children, and also what you want to leave for them. So it's better to get a great understanding. Oh, thank you. It's great that you get an understanding of taking those things serious now, because a lot of, especially my age or older, whatever the case may be, we didn't get taught a lot of these things because our parents didn't get taught a lot of these financial things when it comes. I don't know if y'all can hear me. It's kind of, I got my little smooth jazz playing in the background. So I wanted to come in and chit chat with you guys because I'm like, I feel like this is very vital to people's lives. And if you don't know, how are you going to ever take those necessary steps to make things happen for you in your life and your family? So I'm always overthinking things when it comes to my decision making. And I also had to go and create me a decision making process. Oh, thank you, Lindsay. I had to do that because it's like, if you don't do that and life continues to go on and on and on, you're going to wake up and realize you're like in your 50s and nothing has happened for you, because our planning, we feel like it can happen tomorrow, it'll happen the next day, it'll happen the next day. We always put off these things to the side and we don't take it serious until it's the last minute. Just like, you know, when you're planning for your kids' college funds, like, are you planning for that now? Or are you going to wait till the last minute for them to go get a loan and then be in debt, blah, 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 blah. So all of that I feel is very, very important when it comes to the process of making decisions for yourself. And with that comes, it also comes to knowing how you want to deal with people, to knowing who you want to be a part of your space, to know if you have to remove yourself from yourself, because sometimes ourselves attack us. And we never know because we always are pointing the finger at everybody else and what everybody else is doing, but we never take the time to look at ourselves. What am I doing to contribute to this situation? You got to evaluate you first. And that's one of the things that I have continued to doing now is I'm reevaluating me. What am I doing to cause X, Y, and Z, or not cause it, or bringing value or not bringing value? I got to look at myself first, and then I got to check me, because I can't check nothing else if I can't check where it starts at within me, and then kind of like, okay, you know what? I got to go figure that out. I got to go take that away. I got to go alter this. I have to do these things for me to be able to have a clear mind and make the best decision for me and my brand and my child and my future and my business, and also the people that surround me. So that's why I wanted to come on here and share. Today has been one of those crazy days when you kind of just like, you know what? It's been a lot today. But what can I do? I did meditate this morning. Meditation is boring. I'm sorry. I try No, it was yoga, not meditation. Yoga. Hey, Marcy. And I'm sitting there doing the arms up and going down the stairs. I'm like, this is boring. I rather meditate, and I like to talk to myself a lot because I answer myself too. I'm like, yes, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But you have to keep positive people around you because, like I said, with those decisions and what you're being a part of can alter the decision that you make. No matter what it is, it will alter it. Trust me. You will not be able to have a clear vision on what you're trying. Let me turn this down a little bit more because I feel like it's a little bit loud. You will not have a clear vision on what you're trying to do in life. You just won't. So that's why I'm like, let me check Monique first. What does Monique have to do? And also, on this journey that I have been on, I have seen so many different things that I have learned. I have took in. I have had to change about me. It had nothing to do with no one else. So that's what I've been working on is me. And today, I was like, you know what? It's something that I got to change, and that's going to happen today. So I had a conversation with Self, and Self said, they got to change. So now I have to take the necessary steps to do that. And then once I have been executing that, I will share that with you guys. So just being around that positive light of people. Yes, I know, right, Jimmy? Oh, Lord. It's just like, okay, I gotta change it. I gotta change it. Nobody can change your situation but you. So I had to look at me. It was like, Monique, you're the only one that can change that. Nobody else can change that but you. So I had to figure out, what do I have to do to change what I got going on around me? What do I have to change that's going on with the people that I have around me? And I've been learning moving forward is putting people in categories. Kind of like, there's no need for me to say, I don't like you or you don't like me or whatever the case may be. It's just that I know that I wouldn't want to put you in my friend zone where I take and talk to you about personal things or I just want to keep you in my business zone. I kind of have these set boundaries that I'm creating with my relationships and also that I'm creating within myself. But you got to learn that. That just doesn't click in like that. Like, oh, no, I'm going to hold off from that. I'm going to hold off from this. You got to learn that. And the only way that you can learn that is by experiences, okay? Can't nobody tell you that. Because just because I shared an experience with you about what I've been through or going through or came from, doesn't mean that it's going to happen for you. It's going to be different. It might be different. It might be the same, but it might be different. You got to go through that to evaluate it, to understand it, to either keep it the same or change it. So all these things that I have been going through with self, I have been evaluating self. Not the people. I've been evaluating me and what I'm going to allow to be a part of me. And that's why I said you have to value you first. Because if I don't change that, who will? Nobody. So I did want to come on here and talk about that because I felt a heavy cloud on me today. And I'm like, you got to continue to go on your journey and this is me talking to myself, that I'm trying to create for myself. And also, I believe in God. I don't know if anybody else believes in God. But I do believe in God, and I always ask, like, what I don't want to make my own path. I need you to make the path for me, and I'm just going to walk it. I don't want, because before, that's our problem. We always say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. God, I have to ask God, what do you have planned for me? Please let me know what you got planned for me. Please take away these people that I can't clearly see a clear vision on. Please expose things sooner than later within myself so I can adjust. No, I'm never going to be perfect. Nobody's never going to be perfect. But if there's some major things about me that I'm like, you know what? I don't know if I like doing that. I don't know if I like being a part of certain things. I don't know if I like even hearing certain things, because once you hear it and you're around things and it gets instilled in your brain and that's what you're going off of, I don't even want that in my brain. Like, no, because even with, I said, ugh. So just kind of figuring that out and moving forward is like, I got to continue to ask God for guidance and not just try to guide myself, because sometimes we'll end up lost. Sometimes we think we're right. We think we got a whole great idea. But yeah, God be like, yeah, that's your plan, but this is my plan. And that's why that plan is not going to go right. I ain't going to preach to y'all. But that's just some things that like I said, been working on myself with me getting older in life and becoming who I am. I'm in this new phase, this new chapter, this new journey. And it's like before, like I said, I can go out and start changing situations. I have to go change it within myself and understand what I'm willing to accept and what I'm not willing to accept for me. So another thing is maximizing your full potential. So when I say that is you have to maximize who you are. So if you're sitting here, yes, Lindsay, that is so true. So if, say, I'm going to give you an example, like with me being a makeup artist. If I know that I'm a makeup artist and I'm doing makeup, but I'm just still sitting at home, I could be doing something with this. You see, I didn't went from being a makeup artist at home to having a whole brand because I am really trying to maximize my full potential. And I hate when, I ain't going to say I hate, I just dislike, I was asked, me and Chris was having a conversation, and he was like, well, you got to go by your purpose. That might be your purpose. I don't think that's my purpose because, you know, we got so much time with life still. I might think one thing is my purpose, but God might have a whole nother thing. I might be somewhere being a coach somewhere in Europe. You know, that might be my purpose and me not even know at all. I just say, you know what, this is my potential and I'm going to maximize it to the full extent. And I'm just not going to sit here and let life pass me by and not do nothing about it. Not do nothing with it. I have to go figure out life. I have to. And a lot of us live for today. I've never been a person that lived for today. I can't stand it not having a sense of direction on where I'm going. You gotta have an idea. Like you gotta have some type of idea on what's next for you. I just was never that person to just be like, you know what, I'm gonna go to work today. I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. I don't know what's gonna happen next week. No, we can't determine that. But I have an idea of certain goals that I want to have accomplished within a certain time period. So that's what I always go by. And sometimes it drives me crazy because I overthink sometimes. And I just be like, okay, Monique, just like I thought today was going to be overwhelming because I had Zoom meetings, I had in-person interviews, I had a lot of things going on. But then today came, I was just like, it wasn't even that bad. But I was just overthinking. And I was like, don't put so much pressure on myself with thinking I got to do a million things at one time. But I got so much that I had rolling in my head that I'm like, Chris was just like, I just want to get inside your brain and just see how you operate, how you think. Is because I'm just like, I cannot. The reason why I go so hard for myself is because I understand what struggling looked like. I understand what trying to figure things out. I understood all of that and still do. Because that's hard. That's hard when you can't just get up and go and do you, buy whatever you want. It's hard. But who's there to tell us that? And when they do tell us that, we're not ready to accept that. You know what I'm saying? Yes, that is so true too. So that's the reason why I go the route that I go. And like I said, ever since, and I'm going to preach this to the day I die, ever since when my mother passed away, and it's going on 5 years now, I was not this way. Before, I was just living. I was going to work. I was coming home. I was just doing me. I didn't think about anything that mattered in life that I was going to need down the road. I didn't think about that. That wasn't important. I'm just going to keep on letting time go by. It's a whole nother year, and nothing has been accomplished for my life. Nothing has been accomplished for me growing personally into this whole nother phase of a woman. None of that. So I had to go through that journey, and I had to understand why things happened the way that it did in my life, because it brought me to this point now. And I accept it. I really accept it. So now I'm getting into a phase of understanding who I am, knowing what direction I'm going in, really kind of boiling it all down to like, okay, I get it now. I get it. And it takes us a long time to get to that point. I still got a long way to go. And it takes us a while to get to that point of, okay, being focused on this. Because we're all like this. And sometimes we have blinders on where we got people in our way that's blocking our blessings, where we going, what we doing, and what we trying to see. It happens like that. So me just understanding that, and I will continue to move forward. Move forward. I can't look back. I have to continue to move forward. And when I was first figuring it out, and one thing I want to say is that when people tell you, you all over the place, you trying to do this, you trying to do that, I had to go through that. I was all over the place. I had went from being a CNA to going to cosmetology school, then being an image consultant, then what was that? Then I had a clothing boutique. After that, I went to school to be a community health worker. Then after that, I went to go be a realtor. Then after that, it was so many things, but I had to go through those different phases to see what worked for me. It might come off to other people that people got a lot going on. They can't figure out what direction they want to go in. But how would I know if I wanted to be a realtor if I didn't go be a realtor? I can't go by your experience and you're telling me that you didn't like it or you liked it or you're doing great or you're not doing great. I had to go and experience it myself to get my own, you know what I'm saying, perception on it. Like, okay, this is not for me. But if I would not have done that, I would be sitting here like, dang, I wish I would have went in, at least tried it. I don't want to have no regrets. When I leave this earth, I don't want to have any regrets about the things that I have done in my life, the things that I have learned in my life. I don't want to have any regrets. And that's why I go out and I do it. And if I tried it and it didn't work, I move on. I don't make a big announcement. Oh, y'all, the real estate didn't work out. Y'all just see, oh, she don't do real estate no more? I ain't have to announce that to you. For what? I announced that to myself. And now you see what's going on over here. Pay attention to that. That's it. So, but it's so much when you're trying to go through peeling off those layers with you. That doesn't just happen like that. You really have to do a lot of being with self. And it is not easy, especially if you're used to being in relationships, if you're used to having people around. How do I be with self? How do I understand that journey for self? You get tired. You get tired. And when you get tired, that's when you start learning how to be with self. Because that is the process I am going through now. No, you're not going to be perfect. You're still going to make mistakes. I'm still going to make mistakes. I'm still going to probably end up in having things going on over here that I'm like, dang, I said I wasn't going to do that. But you got to go back and check yourself. Go back and check yourself. And one thing I don't tell people about is who they are. If I have, say I did have a business agreement, a business situation with someone, and I realized that this is just not good for me. I'm not going to be like, yeah, let's have a meeting. Let me tell you about you. No, you know about you. Why do I have to have that conversation with you? You grown. But I know what I'm going to do with me. I know what I'm going to do with me. I'm going to have that conversation, whatever we got going on. If it works, it works. But I'm not going to tell you about you. I'm not going to do that with anybody. I'm just going to let you know if it doesn't work for me, I have to remove myself. And that's it. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to go around saying, oh, X, Y, Z. No, that is bad, bad, bad energy you putting out to come back to you. It just didn't work. Next. So I had to share that as well. So one of the things I do want to talk about is finances. What people, especially our people, when you get these, say bingo, say a tax return. One of the things that I don't know where I got this from, but one of the things that I have learned, anytime that I have gotten checks, taxes, anything that I have gotten in my life, I don't know why, but I have always made good financial decisions when I got, like, say a large check or something like that. I have always made good decisions, and I'm going to tell you why. When I get a check, and when you get a check, do not go shopping. Don't go on and buy all this designer stuff. Going to do this. Going to take flights. I have always, because I feel like if you get a check, and it say you get a check of $50,000, right? You get a $50,000 check. Don't go. I have never put it like this. I have never just went and splurged ever. I didn't went and paid off cars. I didn't went and paid off credit cards, because if it don't sit in your account, it's like it never really existed. So if you gonna pay stuff off right away, you won't miss it. But if you gonna put that money in your account and it's sitting there, and now you wait like a month later, like, ooh, it's gonna be hard to pay off a car now. I don't want to do that, because if I do that now, it's gonna bring me all the way down to here. I do it right away. Every time I have gotten any type of income, I have went and did it right away. And guess what? I don't have no credit card debt. I ain't got no car note. My car paid off. I don't have to deal with none of that, because I made those decisions quick, fast, and hurry. And I know it's hard when you got stuff to do, but I don't say go splurge on stuff like that, because now you're just going to be living house poor. No, go pay that stuff off. Go pay it off. I love enjoying not having to pay unless the bills you got to pay, like rent, mortgage, things of that nature. But go pay those debts off. You do not want to be sitting here every time you get paid. You know how good it feels? I ain't got to worry about no car note every month coming out of my account because I took some money and went and paid my car off. Like, I ain't got to deal with that. I don't have to deal with that ever again. So I've been like that since I was like 19. I did that and it felt good. So with making those decisions, I just like, no, because if I go put it in there and it's sitting, it's going to be harder for you to pay those debts off versus you doing it right away. So as soon as the money comes, you already got your list of what you wrote down that you about to pay off, that you don't have to worry about that. That's what I do. So also with setting short-term goals instead of doing long-term goals. So say if you have a goal for this year, you like, you know what, I want to buy me a house. That's kind of like a long-term goal. So you don't be hard on yourself about, okay, I got to go try to figure this out. I got a certain amount of time. Let's say that's for the end of the year goal. What about your goals for your 3-month, your 6-month? What about those short-term goals that is easily achieved? So then you're not having all this pressure on yourself, and it makes you feel good when you can check those short-term goals off. It makes you feel great. Like, you know what? I'm accomplishing something. I can keep going. But if you're sitting there waiting to buy a house at the end of the year, you're not going to have as much confidence. You're not going to be as motivated because you're like, that's a whole year. But what can I get? It's so many things that we can accomplish right now within 3 months, within 6 months that we can do right now that can be achieved to make you keep going. So then when you get to that end of the year goal, you're like, you know what? I did so many things and now I'm buying my house. I did so many things before that. But if you just sit here, wait, yep, that's my only goal for this year. That's it? No. So what I do is I make steps and plans for when I have certain goals that I want to plan out for myself. My first step is I have to think about what I want to do. So now even with my brand, I have to say, you know what is my main focus for my brand? I don't want to be all over the place trying to figure out, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. It's so many things that I want to do, but I'm like, you know what? I have to put that aside and I have to put my main focuses down in my head. Let me think about this. Okay? Once I got it kind of what I want to do, it doesn't matter what it is. Think about it. Once you think about it, the second thing I do, I have to write it down. I had to physically see what I have written down for me to be like, okay, you know what? That looks like that looks achievable. I can get that done within this amount of time or that amount of time, either way. And then the third thing, you just got to make it happen. You got to make it happen. Figure out how can I make this goal happen. So if it's paying off your car within 3 months, that means, okay, how many times do I have to pay my car note, double it up, or whatever the case may be? Figure out how can I achieve this and write it down so then you're following that. Because if you just have it in your head, yeah, this is my plan, it's probably not going to happen. It's just probably not going to happen. And then step 4 is whatever happens is going to happen. So when things will go, one of the things that I feel like I brought with me too, my mother used to get so upset when things would go wrong, and my mom she cried about everything. I lost my cigarettes, and she started crying. So what I took from that, it actually made me stronger. So when I have something that's going bad or it's not going the way that I thought it would go, or I'm just like, dang, what's happening? I sit, I let it process, and I figure out a solution. You got the problem. We know the problem is there. So you're going to stay on the problem? No. I go figure out, okay, what can I do about this? How can I make this better? What can I go figure out? Because I'm not going to stay at that problem. I'm not just going to stagger and stay there. Now I'm working on my solutions. So that's what I do. That's it. So, and I always say, people always think about what they can't achieve versus what they can achieve. So think about all the things, you know what? I can do that. I can. Don't sit here and think about no long, like I'm going to win a lottery. Girl, that's something that probably can't be achieved. Why would you have that on your list? No. So just think about that. And another thing that I wanted to share is making sure that your kid's future is secure. Oh my God, I can't explain and express that enough. Even if it's So I have Pari it's called a Optima account, which is an account that I have open. It's for minors, so it will be in your name, but your child will also be added to that account. So I have opened that account for Pari, and every week you can do it. Every week you can do it bi-weekly. You can do it monthly. So I do it every week, and I have an automatic payment that goes into Pari account from my accounts. Mind you, I can't see this account. This is a whole other account. Because if you're seeing the money going in there, you're going to be tempted to, I could probably go pay off this bill. She ain't paying no bills. I need to go pay this bill. We're going to be, because we're parents, we're going to be tempted to use that money. It's easy. So I got her that account. She builds interest in that account 12% every year on that money up until she's 21. So I can access the account all I want. I can add more. I can add less. But I choose to not touch that account. That account is for Pari. Out of sight, out of mind. Right. So I have that account for her. I do not touch. So when she's 21, because we don't want our kids to just benefit when we dead and gone. Like, I got a policy for my kids. She gonna be good. Yeah, when you dead. But what about when you're here? What can they benefit from when you're still alive on this earth? So I got her that account. I also have her on my policy. I have certain things set up because when my mother was here, my mother didn't really know a lot about, our mothers don't really know a lot about that. So I had to make sure that my daughter didn't experience the same thing that I was experiencing. I wanted her to be okay. And I didn't want to go get one of those educational accounts that they can only use it for college. To be honest, I hate to say this out loud. I think this is the first time I say this out loud. I really don't care too much for college. And I'm not going to teach my daughter to go to college. I said it. The reason being, I was never like a college person. Like, I don't want to go to school. I loved vacational trades. And the reason why I loved that, they were short term. You wasn't $50,000 in debt and then got to go get a short. And there's no chasing nobody in their decision. This is all my disclaimer, okay? And for what I got for her. So I just didn't feel like that was me. It is a waste of time and money. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. I'm allow her to go make that decision on her own. What she feels. I'm like, you better go to college. No, that's not what I believe in. I believe in you doing something for yourself, but I'm not going to sit here and force you to go be a part of a college or a school or whatever the case may be. If that's not what you want to do, go do what you want to do. Simple. So yeah, about that, I don't teach her that. I say, you know what, baby, go be whatever you want to be. Go do whatever you want to do. Just as long as you do something, I'm gonna support you 100%. And that's it. Figuring out, the next thing is really figuring out passive income. So with people working or people having a business, and people talk about, get you a business. They be so cheering on that. Do y'all understand how hard it is to run a business? And to not only run a business, but to run a business in Minnesota? Y'all understand how hard that is? It's very hard. It is very hard because Minnesota is so small. Yada, yada, yada. It's very hard to do that. So, like I said, even with, back to coming up with the passive incomes, you want to try to figure out what can I do? Because I always looked at life like this. If you work your job, you got the same bills, or your business, whatever the case may be. You got the same bills. You got the same income. You get a raise once a year. How are you going to grow from that to get out of the situation that you're in? Unless you go pick up a second job, you have no time for yourself mentally. You have no time for your kids physically. And you're burnt out. So now you've worked all your life and you can't even live your life because you've been working to survive and working overtime. So you got to figure out, how can I bring in passive incomes, whether it's me working at my job and I got a little side hustle over here, that's cool too. Or me having my business and I got my job over here, that's cool too. But you got to figure out, how can I get out of the situation that I'm in? Because you got to think about that. How can this get better? If I got the same check, I get a raise, 10 cents, 20 cents, 15, whatever the amount is every year, you can't really do nothing with that. And that's one of the things that I got tired of. I'm like, yeah, I was so like the worst worker ever, but I go extra hard for my business. It's just, that's just how it is. So I was like, with me working the same amount of hours, getting the same amount of income, paying the same bills, the bills is gonna get higher because the rent goes up again in the next year, et cetera, et cetera. So then it's like I'm gonna be able to save less money and make less money. So it has to make sense. How can I change my situation financially? You got to think about that. It's gonna be the same stuff next year. But what we don't realize is that we're gonna be struggling a little bit harder the next year. Mind you, I said rent went up. Rent goes up. Property taxes goes up. How can I change my situation to make it better? And that's what I used to think about when I was by myself. Like, I'm never gonna get out there. So I used to think when I had I had a 1-bedroom apartment. I was with my daughter, and I was like, I'll never be able to afford a 2-bedroom because I don't know what else to do. I don't know how to generate other incomes to get me out of this situation that I'm in. I don't know. So, at that time, I didn't have any influences around me to say, try this or try that, or what about this or what about that. A lot of us don't have that. So then we get stuck and not have that around us to help us motivate or even think twice about the life that we live. So I had to think about that, and I had to make a difference, and I had to make a change for me. And I said, I can't do this no more. I cannot do this anymore for my life. So I had to make a change. So some of the things that I do to generate extra income for myself is by starting the vending machine business, which I absolutely love, investing into rental properties, doing online sales, selling products in store, makeup services, offering wholesale products as well, starting my online classes, doing makeup classes, and also doing the coaching, subscription boxes, investing in other businesses, and also doing tax liens. So getting those incomes to start generating getting those businesses to start generating the income. You got to do somewhere you're going to be stuck. So you really have to start thinking about, what can I do to continue to build a generational wealth for my family? Or you're going to be stuck. You're going to be stuck. And you're not going to be okay with that. Like I said, time waits for nobody. So by you sitting around, another year has passed. Our bodies are getting older. We are not getting younger. So the things that we used to do when we thought that we could do, we retired early, sooner than we used to be. We used to be able to probably stay up all night. We can't operate the way that we used to. So you have to think about, how can I strategize and maximize my life and my potential? And figuring it out. So also, like, when it comes to, I wanted to talk about you can't hear me? Can y'all hear me? Or am I just talking? Joy, you can't hear me? Talking about when it comes to maximizing, a lot of people go in and say they want to do they want to, Jenny can hear me. Joy, your volume must be down. Oh, okay. So when it comes to the rental property, people always say, yeah, I'm going to go buy me a rental property. I'm going to give me a rental property, X, Y, Z. Like, okay. About rental property, I feel that rental property can only be great if you get a management company. Because when me and Chris went in for the properties, we was having a lot of issues because we was so hands-on with it. We was renting, we was doing the screening, we was doing the showings, we was doing the paperwork. How can this become passive income when I'm here all the freaking time? I don't want to deal with this. I need to just run smoothly on its own. Call me when you need some money, management company, and that's it. That's what I wanted to create. So that's why I said, with moving forward, I do not want to be involved with looking for tenants, screening tenants, evicting tenants. I need this to be of less headache as possible. So if that's what you guys are the direction you're heading in, make sure you consider that. That little percentage that management company won't, trust me, it will take away a huge headache. Only call me when you need money to pay for something. Other than that, I don't want the tenants to know me, because like I said, it creates good and bad relationships. You'll be on Facebook, I got a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, whatever you got available. you allow people to, and give them a chance. And once you be like, you know what, this isn't working, I have to, and a lot of it, I'm going to say all the times, I gave people benefit of the doubt. I gave them the benefit of the doubt. And I would say, you know what, just move. Just move. I don't want to have to evict you. I don't want to have to put that on your record. Just move. Clean up the place and just move, and we ain't got to deal with that. But a lot of times it doesn't just happen like that, and you got to go through an eviction. So then that creates people to hate you. But then you can't be like, well, it's business. No, now it's just business. Because now I don't want to know who I'm renting to. I don't want to have no parts. I don't want to market. I don't want to do anything but just have to pay for anything that's an expense to me. So that's what I mean by creating those passive incomes that I don't want to have to be so involved with. That's why even with running my business, I have decided to move away from hiring employees and going straight to look and like Chris always, I know, but Chris always sitting here doing something. I have moved from hiring people and going straight to contractors because it's less of a headache. I don't want to have to be that one to make all these decisions for you, and you either want it or you don't. Be your own boss, and I'm gonna be my own boss. At this point, I learned so much, and I wouldn't take any of it away that I have learned. Like I said, within myself, I have learned so much, but now I'm on a journey of what can I create that is passive, less headache, less people, don't require me to be there all the time. That's the journey that I'm on, okay? I don't need that because I need to create free time for me. I am also getting older. I'm still young. Somebody told me I look like I'm in my 20s today. So I would take that. But I'm getting older and I'm like, okay, I have to figure out what is going to require my time, my energy. I'm very dedicated to what I do. I work very hard for what I want, but I'm not willing to continue to give me 7 days a week to anything. No, I have to focus on me, my mental health, my child, where I'm heading, what I got going on for me. So I'm actually, I want to sign up for this women's retreat that I am looking forward to attending in April. And I was thinking about like, oh, I want to go with somebody. No, I want to go with me. I want to go with myself. There's going to be other women there, but it's going to be other women that's a part of the retreats. So I didn't want to take anything or any energies with me on a retreat that I'm trying to do some self-healing for myself. It's very important to me for me to focus on me. And when you're going through all these different transitions in life, you're going to get to a point like, okay, what can I do that's going to help me? And sometimes that doesn't involve people. It just involves you being with you. So I wanted to come on today and really touch bases on that with getting closer with my, and also coming up in the summer, I will be offering, it's called Mini Malore for my mentees, for mentorship for the little ones. I've been planning to do this for forever and I haven't had the time. So now that I'm kind of clearing things out and I'm allowing things to run on its own, I want to offer that of a free service because you know what? We needed those mentors and guidance when we were younger. And well, we had a Boys and Girls Club and we was fast in. So this ain't gonna be that. There's no boys allowed. So yeah, but that's more so of what I wanted to come on and chit chat about because I'm like sometimes life, all the time, life can pass us by. We lose a lot of people that we love, that we looked up to, that we honored, that we cherished, and now sometimes we be sitting here lost. We be lost when they here, you know. So taking on life and, like I said, getting older and understanding those journeys that we have to go down to understand where we're trying to go is the hardest part in accepting it. The biggest part is acceptance. How can I accept? That's why I said today, before I can, you guys don't even understand how hard it was for me to do Monique Monday because I was in a space that I had to get out of. And I was just like, you know what? I have to have this conversation with myself. I have to have it with God. I have to make sure that I get myself out that space and how I plan on moving forward from that space that I was in. I said I'm going to come on here anyway, and I'm going to embrace me realizing that. It takes time for you to acknowledge certain things that's going on with you. And like I said, and not pointing fingers at other people and say, well, this is why that this is going on for me. No, I always got to get down on me first. Like Monique, that wouldn't be happening if you didn't allow it. That wouldn't be happening if you didn't let people come in your space. You have to look at you first and then decide to make what decision that's going to be important for you. But you can't point the finger at other people and expect things are going to change when you still allowing little messy, little begging, little cheating, little all that in your space. And then you want to change. How? So before I even speak things into the universe, I have to speak it into myself and say, okay, now I got to repeat this out loud so it can come back to me. And like I said, and it's all going to start with change and involving those positive people in your life. And that's why I like to have those times with me. Because if you don't, you will lose yourself. And it's okay if things are not working out. It's okay if you feel that certain things. It's okay if you don't have that motivation and people to support around you. It's okay to not have that family. It's okay to not have that relationship. It's okay to have those things that you don't have around you, but you got you. You got you. And that's why I said it was so many times where I was sitting at home when I was younger and I didn't have party then. And I was just like, you know what? All I do is go to work, come home, and that's it. I have nothing else going on. Nothing else. And the more time was going on, I said, I got to do something with me. But how do I do that? Like I said, when you don't have those people around you, or when you are speaking to people that you think that is around you, they can't relate. Because now you're on a new journey. They're not on that journey yet. You can't force somebody to be on that same journey as you. They're not there. And it's okay. It's okay. You can't sit here, you ain't on the same level as me. You can't do that. You can't do that because you took your course. They got to take theirs. And you're not the one to determine if their course going to happen in March, April, May, or June. That's not your place. You just got to have that conversation like, you know what? I got to remove me. I got to remove me. So that's their journey and this is yours. So when you get on the same page, y'all can have that discussion. But until then, you got to go on your own journey. And you can't dictate that for nobody but yourself. And that's what I do. So now I'm like, you know what? If I'm having those conversations and people are not understanding or I'm not understanding, I'd be like, you know what? Maybe this is their journey. And maybe I don't understand their journey. Maybe it's not for me to understand where they at right now. And likewise. So you got to figure out, okay, how can I maneuver through this without being shady or without ignoring where they're at? You got to understand that. So that's why I said it takes processes to get to certain stages in your life and to understand where everybody else's process is at. We're all not going to be on the same page. Sometimes we just not. So being cool with that, embracing that, owning that, and just like, you know what? This is my friend that I feel I can talk to about this type of stuff. This is my friend that I can talk to about this type of stuff. This is my cousin that I can vent to about this type of stuff. Because like I said, everybody's probably not on that same journey that you want. Maybe I could talk to you about business only. I know I can't talk to you about my personal issues because you're just not that person. And it's okay. Doesn't mean that I think any less of you. It's just that I know the space you're in. I just know that you're not the person I want to talk to for that. You're the person I just want to talk to for if you have, I got a new business idea and I know me and you can kind of bounce back and forth. So you got to figure out where these people are in your life, if they should be in your life, where you at in your life, and what you want to do to move forward in your life and stand on it. So I don't share anything that I am not applying to me, that I am not applying to who's in my life, that I'm not applying to friendships, that I'm not applying to family ships, that I am not applying. I am continuing to grow, to work toward things. And that's when I'm like, you know what? I don't want to have no problems with nobody. Listen, if there was a disagreement or anything, listen, I don't want to have any issues. It just didn't work for you. If it just didn't work for me. That's it. Because continuing to dish out those things and that energy, it's like, how are you trying to focus on moving forward in your life and achieving things in your life and focusing on your kids and situations when you still trying to hold on to grudges and things. I forgive everyone. Everyone. Everyone in my life, I truly forgive. Because if I'm sitting here holding on to that, holding on to it, how am I going to ever be able to pull the layers off to get to my core of who I am if I haven't went through my forgiveness process and moved forward? I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to go back and forth. It's just not a good space for me. And that's with everything. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. And I hope anything that I have said today, you can apply to your life, to your kids' life, to anything that you have going on that you feel that is negative. Like I told myself, one of the things that I committed to today was, if I'm hearing anything negative about any situation, I don't want to be a part of it. Because if you're sitting there, it takes two. It takes two to have a conversation. So even if you're not saying anything back, you're listening. You're listening. You're becoming that listening ear, and you're allowing that. And how are you going to ever change your frequency if you're allowing that to alter it? And now that's in your head. So all the little positive things that you had lined up, now you're over here listening to Karen and all this, talking about things that ain't giving, that's not helping you with the direction that you're trying to head to. So I committed to myself today with moving forward is, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to hear. I'd rather not hear and be surprised about things than to hear it. Now it's in my brain, it's in my energy, it's in my space. I don't care. Barbara wants to come on. I think I can. I don't know if I let Barbara come on. It's just, I have to. So Barbara, I added you. So with doing that, you can't allow that in your life. You cannot sit there and listen. You cannot sit there. You cannot. I'm telling you, it changes your mood. It changes everything about what you're trying to do in life. I want to be a part of it. So I'm saying on last day, I want to be a part of it. Please. I just don't. I got too many things that I feel that the path that I'm on, that I feel the other day I had some great, I was so excited. I just felt it in my soul. Like, God, you got something good stirring up for me. I can feel it. I feel it. And I want to keep that energy going. I want to keep that. So I don't want to dish it out. I don't want to take it in. I don't want to be around it. I just don't. But you, like I said, you got to go down certain paths to get to that point. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. No disrespect. No disrespect. I respect you. But I don't want to be a part of that with you. What they gonna say? They can't say nothing. They just gonna be like, oh, okay. They can't say nothing. And you gotta say it respectfully. You gotta be rude about it, like, girl, I don't want to hear that. No, listen, respectfully. Please don't share that with me. Because I don't need that in my mind and altering what I'm trying to do and blocking the blessing that God got for me. I just don't want that. I just don't. So please. I don't care. If it don't pertain to me, I don't care what nobody said about me. But if it don't pertain to me, like, Monique, I got somebody that want to book you for a wedding, or et cetera, I want to hear it. I want to hear it. And you're not going to hear from me. You're not going to hear anything from me. So that's what I said. Moving forward, I have to make sure the path that I'm going on is all aligning with one another. You can't be like, oh, I'm holier than thou, and but then you over here being messy. You can't do that. You can't, that's not a balance. You either over here or you over here. You can't be in the middle. You can't be in the middle. So that's why I said checking you first and then checking your surroundings. That's what I just don't want to be part of. So, but you got to own it. You got to own up to it. Like, yeah, if that was you and you was on this side, you got to be like, yeah, I was a little bit messy. Go clear that up. Call them like, you know what? I said some things that I probably shouldn't have said. I remember one time I had shared something about I told another family member about another family member. This was a couple years ago. And I owned up to it. I called that family member that I repeated something about. And I said, you know what? I apologize to you. And they was like, what? I said, I apologize to you because I shared something that I shouldn't have said. And I own up to it. I'm not going to say, well, I only said it because you said, no, I owned up to that. And I apologized about that. And when I apologize about that, that means that it shouldn't happen again. An apology is not something that you will apologize about and then it happens again. No, I apologized about that. I accepted that. And I said, I shouldn't have did that. Because you never know how you're going to affect somebody else. Because they probably was being open with you, venting to you. It felt like a safe space for them. And then you went and repeated it. So another one of my family members called me and was like, what made you get to that point of apologizing about that? How did you get to that point? I said, because it was wrong. It was wrong. And I know it was wrong. And I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. It was wrong. I shouldn't have said it. And instead of me telling somebody else, I called them directly. And I said, I apologize about that. And that would never happen again. And I had to go check myself. And that's what I said. Don't just be like, I'm not going to be a part of that no more. No, you go own up to what you did, the mess that you just stirred up, and you go own up to that, and you change it. You don't keep going. You don't go start something with somebody else and repeat what somebody else said because you fixed this. No, you own up to it, you fix it, and you move on and make sure that, okay, what can I do? I need to make sure, even if it's like, okay, I'm trying to help somebody, don't help nobody else, okay? Stay away from it. Stay away from it all. So that's why I said I had to go through certain journeys for me to get to the point of where I'm at now. And like I said, I'm not perfect. I still got so much work to do within myself. Right now, I'm 35. I'm going to be somebody different at 36. I'm going to realize more things at 36. I'm going to be more open with myself at 37. I'm going to realize I want to be over there doing this at 38. You continue to change. And when you're continuing to change, you're evolving. And I hope for the better and not for the worse. So it's going to be things that I used to do that I don't really like doing anymore. It's going to be places that I used to go that I really don't like going anymore. And people I've been around, I really don't want to be around anymore. And it's not because I think I'm better. It's just that I'm evolving into a space that I feel like this space is for me. And I like being with me. And trust me, like I said, this didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen overnight. I'm still learning. There's mistakes that I'm still going to make, but it's okay to make the mistakes. It's okay to make the mistakes. It's all about how you check those mistakes. How you check them. You got to check yourself. So once you check those mistakes that you have made and you are okay, like you got to make those mistakes to be better. Like if I would have never done any of the things that I have done, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. I don't regret anything that I have done. I learned from that. And I'm continuing to learn because I might make a mistake tomorrow. And then I'm like, you know what? I checked that. And sometimes I might not even see that I checked it. I might see that. And I always replay situations in my head. So if I had a conversation with someone, and the conversation I strongly feel like, I was right. I know I was right. I still go back and check that conversation in my head. Like, Monique, what could I have done different? What could I have said different? Could my approach been a little different? Could I have thought about the decision before I made it? I always go back and rehearse, like, okay, maybe I need to go back because even though it was a mutual agreement, maybe I need to go back and make peace with that because I don't feel like it ended well. I hate having that dark cloud over me. I just don't like that. That's just me and who I am. So I try to fix it. No, you can't fix everything. Some people just gonna think what they want to think. Some people gonna take things the wrong way. That's just how it happens. And that's just what it is. But as long as you make peace with yourself and like, you know what? I reached out. I corrected it. I moved on. I can't change you. I can't change your decision. I can't change the way you think. Because like I said, if we on two different journeys, you're not going to see the changes that I'm making. Only thing you're going to see is this over here, the mess. So that's why I'm like, you know what? With life and with the reality that kicked in for me. And like I said, it all changed when I lost my mother. All of this kicked in. Because to be honest with you guys, before I lost my mother, I just thought, yeah, when somebody died, I was like, oh, dang, I'm sending my condolences, and I moved on. I went back to my daily routine because it didn't affect me personally. We send our condolences, and we be like, dang, that's so messed up. But when it happens to you and you lose someone that's very close to you, it makes you rethink life. Because I wasn't thinking, I was living, but I wasn't living. I didn't realize that I was not living until something traumatic happened to me to make me realize, dang, people really do pass away. People, it really do change who you are. It really do make you think about, dang, this affected me. And now people have to understand the grieving, Monique. Even if I don't even understand the grieving, Monique, you're going to change. You're going to change. So it's about who's around you when you're going into that new phase of your life of now I have to see who I am during this phase. Even if I don't understand it. Now I have to walk that journey. People ain't seen you in that light, but now they will. So when I got into that light, I started realizing, like, I'm going to have to leave here one day. Now that I seen my mother left and she was 46, now that I seen she left and I was not expecting this and she was not expecting this, I realized, Monique, you got to get your shit together. Because it wasn't, I was working. I had my own place. I had my own stuff, but that I wasn't living. I was still miserable because I was going to work, paying the same bills, coming home, not being able to live my life, not being able to be okay financially, not being okay mentally, I was not okay in those areas, but those areas wasn't clear to me until I lost my mother, because none of those matter. You got everybody around you, everybody that was around me, I had, so I never had to go through that journey of not having someone that I love the most. So when that happened, I was like, ooh, dang, we all got to leave here one day. So then what if I get sick at 46 and Power got to figure it out and scrambling everything together with no plan? No plan. What am I going to do then? What am I going to do when I'm not able to speak, breathe, and give my daughter guidance and tell people what I have going on in my life? And if I got sick today and couldn't talk, what are people going to do when you don't have any of that information? Thank you. So I had to figure all of that out. I had to figure it out, and I had to go through those phases. And in the process of going through that phase, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to get me a therapist. I'm going to get me a therapist. And I started going to therapy. Never thought about therapy before. Never thought it was important. Like I said, I wasn't living. I was just like, none of this stuff really matters. Is this really important? Do I really need to have a life insurance? Do I really need to have an account for my daughter? Do I really need to have all these things in order? No, because that's not important. It doesn't get talked about. And our community, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about, okay, Mom, if something was to happen to you, whenever it happens, God forbid, what do you want for you? What do you see me doing? Having those conversations and not being afraid to have them, because my reality kicked in when I least expected it. And we never had that conversation. Never. Not once in a million years, I thought my mother would be dying at the age that she died at. So once all of that happened, and I said, you know what? Reality is here. It's time to really focus on what I want for my life, what I want for my daughter's life. And if I don't, my daughter's going to be in the same situation that I was in, about not having a clue that all of this is going to take place. So I started going to therapy and really letting out all of the things that I didn't think that mattered, because we hold it in. Why is that important? Who said it is important? Who said that maybe I'm going through something? Who said that maybe that's depression? Who said that maybe that's mental health? Who's pointing out all these things that's letting me know that, Monique, these things are important to you and you need to go talk to somebody about it? Nobody says that, because you don't dish it out. Because like I said, when you got everything going, your life over here, you got that, it doesn't come out as being important to help you continue to grow in life. So once I got my therapist, it was amazing. It was going great. And I was seeing him for about a year and a half. Every Tuesday, I was seeing him. I would write down my thoughts that I wanted, the things that I went through for that week. Okay. I was going through things in a week. Every week, it was something. I was like, oh, I couldn't wait to get on the call with you. I got something to tell you. He said, within a week? Yes. Let me tell you what happened, right? But that was my safe space. I didn't have to worry about things being repeated. I didn't have to worry about being judged. I didn't have to worry about being talked about. I didn't have to worry about any of those things that I felt that if you let a regular person know how you really feel about your upbringing, where you at now, where you wasn't at, you get either judged or whatever the case may be. You're airing out a part of you that you don't know where they're taking this to. It's a safe space. So that's what we created. I'm seeing them. It's going great. I'm loving it. I'm just loving that I have somebody that I could talk to and that's giving me tools and guidance to handle certain situations, to handle these steps that I'm trying to climb. Like, how can I get over this hump if nobody's showing me, like, no, I'm only, you looking at that wrong. Look at it this way. Let's give you a couple of different scenarios. And I'll be back, damn, you was right. I did look at that wrong. Who's going to tell you that? Not a family member, not a friend. They're going to listen or they're going to agree. But they're not going to say, wait, I hear you out and I understand, but let's look at it this way. Let's look at Exhibit A and let's look at Exhibit B. They ain't going to say that. They're going to be either, yeah, girl, you're right. Or, But they're not going to help you get through that challenging stage that you in. So I'm studying. I'm continuing to see my therapist, and I'm like, this is going good. This is going good. I am realizing a lot of different things about who I am. I'm growing into this new woman. I'm pulling off these layers that I feel like has been attacking me, that I'm not getting anywhere. I'm getting all this refresh. I'm feeling like a reborn child again. And the thing is that the sessions kind of started slowing down, and I was like, why my therapist keep canceling on me? I got something to say. I got to talk about things that happened last week that I ain't get to share with you the week before that. So he was canceling, and I'm like, oh, what is going on? So then I get a call from the company that he worked at, and they said, you know what, such and such is going to be out for a while. Do you want to wait? Yeah, I want to wait until he come back. So they called me, maybe 3 weeks went by, and I'm just like, what is going on? So three weeks go by, they called me again, and they was like, you know what? Do you want to get you another therapist? Why? That's like, because the therapist that you have won't be coming back. I didn't share my life. I didn't been vulnerable. I have been open. I have been just everything. I have built a relationship, and I have built trust, and I have built respect for this person. I have built all these things to where, what is going on? And I had no answers on how that it just abruptly stopped. And I was healing. We were gonna start working on my grieving, because I didn't understand it. Like I said, that was a new chapter that I wasn't expecting to open so soon. So I come to find out that my therapist was sick, and I found out that he had cancer. So my heart sank. Mind you, I just lost my mother from cancer. So this is like a second person that's really close to me, that's helping me get through what I'm dealing with when I was dealing with my mother being sick. All these different challenges that I have grown to love this person for helping me. And now I hear that you not have the same kind, but still it's the umbrella of cancer. Okay, he'll get better. I'm gonna pray for him. I literally was bawling, crying, because like I said, I have built a relationship now. So I'm like, you know what? I'm a email him. I don't know if that's appropriate, but I'm still gonna email and just say how I feel about, be a fighter, get through this. I believe in you. It's so many people out here that need you. Whatever I can say to keep them fighting, keep fighting. So we communicated through Messenger, through Facebook for a while. I would check in because I wanted to make sure I was still, you know, I didn't want to be, but it's bad. Y'all know what I wanted to do? I wanted to go up there like I was a supporting daughter. And what you need help with, I'm there, visit you. But I didn't want to be too much because this, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted to give all of me so bad because of what you have helped me through. Now you need someone, and I want to be there and support you and the family. And but like I said, I don't want to, you gotta separate it. So I'm sitting here drowning in all those thoughts, like, hey, what can I do? What can I do? So we were talking. Then I heard he ended up passing away. So that happened, and I was just lost. I was lost again. I felt like I was back at square one. I don't know how I didn't get off the topic of, but I was back at square one with losing someone that I have grown to trust, to be open with, to feel like I was safe with, that helped me get through things that I couldn't get through on my own, to pass away from cancer as well. And it was within maybe like a 3 year from him and my mom passing. So to this day, I haven't really found a therapist that I can connect with because I keep comparing them to him. I keep comparing what he helped me through to them. And I'm just like, y'all understand me? Only he did. Y'all don't get it. Only he did. So it has been very challenging for me to open up like that again and create that. Because once you find someone you connect with, it is not easy. It is not easy to find somebody that's relatable to you and what you got going on. It's not easy. So I have had to figure out and just ask, like, God, what are you? I believe that everything that God do is leading up to something different. It's leading up to something that is going to be helpful to you no matter what happens. No matter if people come in your life that has been around you, that's not around you, family members that's around you, that's not around you. I always look at this must be for a reason. Everything is for a reason. But if you don't look at it like that and you keep doing why, I have to look at it in a positive light. Okay, you must be having something in store for me. You must got something cooking for me. You must got something going on. And I had to understand that with my mother. So when my mother passed away, what's been helping me? And if y'all had anybody that passed away that's close to you, what's been helping me be okay with it? Is saying to myself, this God has, if that would have not happened, I wouldn't be in this space I am right now because I was okay. My mother's here. I wouldn't have been exploring motherhood the way that I am. I wouldn't be exploring myself. I wouldn't be doing all these things because, like I said, I wouldn't have a business. I don't believe any of this would happen. I would have probably still been working where I was working overnight still because my mom was, watching my daughter. So it was all just working. Who wants to mess up a little operation that's working? Nobody wants to get uncomfortable. I was comfortable. So what would have made me get uncomfortable? Nothing. Why would I? Why would I make things complicated? But you have to get uncomfortable to see things from a different light. So that's what helps me with moving forward is this, everything has happened for a reason to get me at this point, at this position that I'm in today. Because I wouldn't have seen none of this. I would have definitely had on blinders. So now I'm in the phase of being okay with me, being okay with life, and being okay with moving forward. Because if you don't, you're going to be stuck. And like I said, time waits for nobody. We all got to leave this earth one day. So don't think we're going to be here forever. Hopefully our days will last as long as we want them to last, but we're not going to be here forever. So figuring out where you want to be, who you want around you, who you need around you, and that's where you got to be. So now the journey that I'm on, I have to protect it by all costs. I have to protect it. And you have to protect you from you, because sometimes ourselves can attack ourselves. And we not even know it because we think we right. We think, no, she shouldn't have, no, he shouldn't have. But if you ain't checking your own structure and what you got going on, how you gonna check somebody else's? How you gonna try to alter what you got going around you when you haven't checked you? When you haven't looked in the mirror at you? It's not everybody else all the time. It's not always somebody else. If you're a person that always say everybody always, it's not always somebody else. Some things you have to take accountability for within you, for real. It's not always somebody else. If it's always somebody else, then that means you got to go find you a whole new crowd, a whole new family. They might have one on eBay. You can go back, but you might need to go find you a whole new family. If it's always somebody else or a family member, or a friend. That's why you got to go do the homework on you. I actually just started back journaling. I used to do that a lot when I was younger. I used to do a lot of poetry when I keep saying younger, like I was that young. But I used to write a lot of things down because it prevents you from dishing out so much of you to people and being so open and vulnerable to people that you think that care. Journal it, write it down. Like I said, go get you a therapist because you don't want to keep dishing out you and now you spreading yourself out and you don't know how people are going to take it. You might think they're going to take everything in a positive light, but that's just not how it works. Everybody's not in that space. Everybody's not in that positive space that you think that you want them to be in because you're probably not in that positive space yet. And that's why I said you got to work on you first. We are not perfect. We just are not. So doing that and moving forward and really focusing on what your path is and what you want to do to work on you. That's all I do. And that's why I said I am not perfect. I am moving forward and I'm trying to figure out, okay, I know I'm not going to ever be perfect. I will still make mistakes. I will still do things that I probably shouldn't do, but correct what you have done. You can start there. So that's why I said I never share things that I have not experienced myself, that I am not doing myself. I have to continue to grow from everything that's been happening. We all got a story. It's not one person on earth that don't have a story, that don't have something that they got through, that don't have something that where they are now and where they came from. We all have a story and a journey that will help somebody, yourself, and move forward. That's it. So with the things that I have learned from my journey and applying to me is what I'm going to continue to do. It's just become better within my child, within my relationship, within my business, within my friendships, within my family ships, within my business as a whole. And that's all you can do. So, like I said, I done got me a journal off Amazon, and I got me one with a lock on it.
Damn.
I got me one with a lock on it, and because people be reading your stuff. I ain't gonna point no elbows. People read your stuff. So, but yeah, that's what I do, and I just have that time. So now also what I do too is I set my do not disturb on from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. in the morning, because now in the morning, I got to be ready to deal with the world. I have to be ready to deal with it. And I cannot just wake up, jumping on social media. And that's why now I schedule my posts on social media, because I don't want to wake up, jump on social, somebody died. Damn, I just woke up into the world. I didn't see somebody died. Like somebody arguing, social media. I just don't want that to be the start of my day and alter how my day's gonna go. So I get ready and I start getting prepared to take on what I got to take on, whether it's dealing with staff, the store, inventory, whatever, even positive things. I just don't want to take anything in until I'm ready to. So that's what I have done, and I do it 7 days a week. I got do not disturb on 7 days a week until I'm ready to kind of say, okay, you know what? I didn't got my thought process together. I done did some meditation. I done listened to my gospel music. I'm in the right zone right now. Now I'm ready to take on whatever I got to take on. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that, and I hope any of this helped. let me know if it helped you in any way possible. Like I said, I'm always open to feedback. I'm always open to, if you guys want to talk, I talk to everybody, y'all. People be coming to me with everything, and I talk to you like you was a sister, like you my sister. Like, I don't even be knowing people, and they come and stuff. I'm like, hey, girl. She's like, yeah, my son just graduated. Girl, what are you going to school for? Like, I will talk to you like, and if people know, if they know me, they know that's how I am. I don't be sitting here saying, I don't think I know her. I do it with everybody. I'm open with everybody. So, oh, thank you, Jenny. I hope it helped. I hope it helped. It's just, and like I said, it's all from my personal experience and what I'm doing to apply to myself. And hopefully it can help you. Or maybe you, whatever you learned today can go help somebody else. But just make sure that you're focusing on you and what's most important for your life, because we only have one life to live. And like I always say, these bodies are not ours, they are rented. And eventually they got to go back. So love you guys. I'll see you guys next Monday. Make sure if you guys enjoyed the video, share, like, comment, whatever. But have a good night. Hey Tracy. Did somebody, I keep, oh, I think, let's see. It was saying people, I think. Have a good night, Lanisha. So yeah, I was trying to, okay, maybe it didn't, oh, okay. I'm like, I don't know if people were trying to join. Okay, so you guys have a good night, and I'll see y'all later.